So this particular model was a SX250, two-stroke model. This one's more your full motocross, supercross bike, very light. Now this one does have the air suspension on it, so like I said, you can tailor it just by using your air pump versus actually manually adjusting those adjusters on your forks. Now one thing you may notice is that this bike doesn't have a permanent side stand. It actually has one that you just set off to the side. The cool thing about these bikes is since it does have the air fork on it, you don't want to over compress your air suspension when you're strapping it down in your truck. So this is basically a fork brace as well. So you just clip this up on your forks. There's clips down in your forks. When you strap your bike down, it's going to suck that down. It's going to keep from over compressing your suspension. Nice thing about this design is if you're in your garage and your truck is off in the distance, you can actually put this on, slip it up to the fender, and then you can just roll it right up to your bike or your trailer and get it loaded up. So kind of a nice little feature on that. So it doubles as a side stand and a fork brace there for you. So this one is a 250. Like I said, the modern horsepower. Yes, question, Jeff.
Yeah, you were just showing the other bike prior to this one.
Uh-huh.
It looks almost like exactly the same, except it has lights.
Yep.
Right? What are the biggest difference between the two bikes?
So the biggest difference is obviously suspension's going to be a bit different on it. This one's got the air suspension on it, no lighting on it. So this one's really just designed for closed course tracks, that type of thing. Or if you're just out in the day, I mean, you can take it out wherever you want to, that you can take them legally, but it's not really designed for something that you're going to get caught in the dark with. You're going to have more of a harsher feel if you're doing any single track riding on this particular bike, because it is set up for a track. It's designed for catching 20, 30, 40 foot jumps and catching doubles and triples on it. So you're going to find a little harsher suspension on this. The nice thing about the air suspension on this is if you do kind of cross over from maybe doing track and maybe single track riding, it's pretty easy to tailor it to where you can make some compromises to where you can ride both. So it works out pretty good on that. So
that's what I'm kind of curious. Is you know, there's a lot of people, myself included, we like riding the dirt bikes.
Yeah, yeah.
But at the same time, we also like to go on trails, but still have the bikes that could, if we need to, we can do the jumps and go on the
exactly.
So what between those two, what would be best fit?
So honestly, if you're wanting to do any, I would say more single track riding, getting up in trails, but something that you can take up and maybe go on an occasional track, I would probably go with maybe something more like the XCW. We have them in all different ranges. This one happens to be a 150. We've got them in 300s, and then we've also got the 500 there. That one's pretty beastie right there. But something with a headlight is going to be more something you're going to want to take up on the trails. But you can firm up the suspension to where it's not going to be the best supercross bike out there, but you're going to have fun. You're going to have a good time. You're not going to feel like you're bottoming out or compromised on that. If you're planning on doing any really hardcore supercross riding or motocross riding, I would probably recommend something more with a more of a setup suspension that's going to accommodate those bigger jumps and harder hits. So this one's going to be a little softer because this one does have the Explorer fork on it, and this one does have the Exact fork on it. And so you just have to kind of make some compromises on that part of it. I wish there was the bike that you could say it's best for everything, but you can find some bikes that are great in all moments. So it's just finding that happy bike for you. One thing I would really recommend is if you've got a local dealer, go in and develop a rapport with them. Hit them up, ask them questions. If you're in our area, feel free to come in. All our staff is super friendly. We want to help you out. We've actually got a great option with our shop. If you don't want to call, and maybe you just want to text in and kind of hit us up on a question, you can just text our number and you can ask any of our staff on anything. Our number is 801-495-3278. So if you want to chime that in, we'll put the link on the site as well. So feel free to shoot us a message, or if you want to just call, you can call in. We love to help you out, find you the right machine. I was just talking to our sales manager today, and unfortunately, kind of on a topic that I mentioned before, he had a guy that was insistent on he had to have a 450, because his buddy has a 450. The guy's never ridden a motorcycle before. Your modern 450 supercross or motocross bike has a ton of horsepower. In fact, most of your pro riders are barely riding those bikes to their limits. So don't think you have to go out and get the biggest, baddest CC bike out there. My favorite bike is actually a 350. It's a phenomenal bike. It does everything that I want it for. Yes, Jeff?